talking about sports, the Carolina's #1 sports podcast. We're here at the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill with an all-star panel with Mountaineer Mike Freer and William Wilson. Special show here. We've got a lot of good top young boxers, area and regional and young national boxers competing. We'll have more on that later in the show. But Mountaineer Mike, Jim Boeheim reportedly in a traffic mishap where he was driving the vehicle that struck and killed someone. The details are sketchy. We'll have more information as it comes available. But real quick, what do you know about that right now?
Yeah, it's really a tragic story. Apparently it happened last night, Wednesday night, hours after
Syracuse had just beaten Louisville, and he was coming back from dinner, and from what I had read and from what all the reports are, he was driving. There was an accident that he was not involved in, and there were people swerving that were out in the road. It was bad weather up there, and he was avoiding the car that was in traffic, and in the process hit the pedestrian and killed him.
Very unfortunate, but Coach Boeheim not charged, and more information will be coming out as it comes available. Now, last night, speaking of college basketball, I don't know if you guys heard that Duke was playing North Carolina.
Yeah, the blowout game.
It was blowing out Zion Williamson blowing out his shoes. Not good. Not a good look for Nike, by the way. Puma put something out since deleted about that wouldn't happen in a Puma shoe. So if you're running Puma, I think you'd want to have your people get to Zion's people real quick, at least legally as possible. Will, you watch the game? A lot of celebrities on hand. President Obama on hand. Tickets going up for like upwards of $10,000 even.
That's just ridiculous.
But I mean, it was a blowout. Once Zion Williamson went out, it seems like the sales. Duke was just lost, and North Carolina is a very good ball club and very well coached.
Oh yeah, and that's what happens. You got to have a next man up mentality, regardless of the sport. You got to always prepare and just understand at any given time your superstar can be out. So you need to be able to maintain what you need to do during that time. And if you can't, if Zion Williamson goes out and that whole team falls apart, that's poor coaching. That's poor leadership. That's poor preparation. That's exactly what that is. They should have been prepared at least to be able to be. Now, Zion Williamson is a huge part of that program, so I get that. But you shouldn't just fall apart because one person off your team. There's still 13, 14 other people on that team, and these guys are all going to Duke. They're all Duke scholarship players, which means they all know how to play basketball better than 90% of the country. So they should be able to go out there right back and play. Zion Williamson is so much further ahead of everyone else. That should have just brought Duke back to Carolina at worst. And it's just still been a good game. The fact that they fell apart is poor coaching and dependability on one person.
All right, now Mountaineer Mike Will is throwing the all-time winningest coach in college basketball history, Coach K, under the bus.
Still a man. Still a person.
What's your take on that?
Well, I mean, obviously, William's right. The air went out of the arena when that happened because you thought the worst when he went down, and then obviously when news got out he wasn't going to return. It really impacted him, like you said. I agree that North Carolina did a much better job taking advantage of his absence than Duke did recovering from his absence. It exposed a couple of things, most notably to me. This is that they have their one and dones. Duke has now. They've gotten into that philosophy, which is fine. They have some of the best talent there, but now they have 3 losses, and 2 of them, one of their key players was missing. Now, in the Syracuse game, they were without, I believe Cam Reddish was out, and they suffered there. They lost that game there. So my question is, how much of a luck? Let's assume Zion comes back and he's healthy and all that. That's another issue altogether. But let's assume he's back and everybody's healthy. What happens when one of those guys goes down? Foul trouble, injury, whatever. Are they all of a sudden the clear-cut favorite? Like we were talking just before this game. You take Duke against the field. Who would you take? And a lot of people are taking Duke.
I'll take the field in that case, but if you give me Duke and North Carolina, now that may change the dynamic. Not even before last night. I'm just saying Duke and North Carolina versus the field. Just Duke, I don't know about that, but give me Duke and North Carolina, I may be leaning to that over the field.
But the margin for error with Duke, you're starting to see is really small if one of their guys isn't around for whatever reason. Could be foul trouble, could be injury. How good a team? They obviously did not look like it. That team, as they played last night, wasn't a contender to make it out of the first weekend.
Now, I think this now, and Coach K pointed this out in the postgame. It took them a while to adjust in the second half, about the 16-minute mark after that first media timeout. They played them straight up even after that, but they were already down 20, so it didn't matter.
And the two guys, the other two freshmen were outstanding. Reddish and Barrett were awesome. But we already had questions about Duke beforehand with their shooting, and it didn't, wasn't anything special last night outside of those two. But now when Zion's not there, I mean, North Carolina, this is where I agree with William. Roy Williams, they made the decision. Whether they were going to do it anyway, we'll never know. But they went at North Carolina in the interior all night long. Now, whether they were going to do that before Zion's injury or they just decided to do it afterwards, either way, that was their philosophy, and they did 62 points in the paint. That's unbelievable. That's almost as many points as Duke had.
Now, Will, you're a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
You're a businessman.
That I am.
If you're suddenly an advisor to Zion Williamson, who's from South Carolina, knowing that he is the consensus number one pick in the NBA draft, a marketable guy, a superstar, the next whoever you want to fill in the blank, maybe the next LeBron James, if you will. He's a brand waiting to happen, if you didn't already. He got a scare last night, a mild knee sprain from what we're hearing because of a faulty shoe. Would you advise him to say, you know what? He could do like who's the guy, Bosa from the Ohio State, said, I'm not going to risk injury. I'm focusing on the draft, and I don't want to get injured. What would you tell Zion Williamson about playing the rest of the year or just worried about working out and being the number one pick in the draft?
I would tell Zion Williamson to sign with an agent this afternoon. He's shown.
You're available right now, I take it.
I mean, cause not me. I don't know how to represent guys.
Well,
like
I'd find out if he wants to be a client of mine.
Down to Zion Williamson is only at Duke because you have to go somewhere for a year.
For now.
The only reason he's there. So if they didn't have this rule, Zion Williamson would never seen the campus of Duke University except on television. So, well, of course he's not going to say it there. Because what's kid's going to say, hey, I'm only here. That's like telling them, that's like meeting a girl. You're single. Hey, I'm just here with you because the woman I really wanted ain't available for another couple of years. I'm going to play around with you for a year.
I've thought that a few times.
No one
I'm
does
just saying.
that. Zion Williamson, if Zion Williamson could have been in NBA right now, you tell me a player in the country that could be an overall number one or go to college is going to pick going to college.
He'd start for the Hornets right now, I can tell you that.
He can start for the Lakers right now. He can start for a lot of teams right now. And that's why, if I'm telling him, why take the risk of getting hurt again? Because this time you'll be okay. Why risk getting hurt again? Was it Sebastian Telfair? Was that it? The guy who, with the knee, went for the layup that time it came out and his knee folded backwards?
I remember Telfair got arrested carrying a gun on the plane one time. No, but I don't think it was him that got injured in high school.
It was a guy,
Sean Livingston, that's him. Who did sign with Duke originally, and he had a bad injury. He's now a serviceable NBA player now.
Serviceable. But he was, his stats dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that injury, just like Maurice Claret. Not Claret.
Willis McGahee. Right.
You don't take this risk. You worked your whole life to be an NBA player. You got a chance to go to the NBA, you go. This showed you right now. If I'm his friend, his advisor, his counselor, you don't touch Duke again for that court ever again.
You come back for your jersey retirement ceremony.
I don't have a problem.
You've been there long enough for that.
I don't have a problem with that. With people who want to take that philosophy, that's fine. My only complaint or question, whatever you want to call it, is, well, why? Where was all this advice before the game?
Well, I think he was hearing it.
He was going to be the number one player anyway.
Right, but
you got to go. You can't just go straight to the league.
Right. We're going to take a break. We've got more of this discussion plus the NBA All-Star recap. Will's going to tell you about Anthony Hamilton and the national anthem version. Of course, Will's there with all the VIPs. We're here at the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill. This is Talking About Sports.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
Do better the other angle.
All right, welcome back to Talking About Sports. We're here with Mountaineer Mike Freer, William Wilson, and we were talking about the Duke situation. We'll get back to that in just a second. I want to talk on the about the NBA All-Star game. Will, you're there. Mm-hmm. Good game, I guess, in the fourth quarter. A lot of alley-oops, dunks, and three-point shooting.
Pretty much the whole game.
What's your thoughts about the whole experience of all the stars, the celebrities? I think everybody except Larry Bird from the NBA was there.
I think it's too much, but I think the same thing about the Super Bowl. I'm sitting there, and I went with a buddy of mine. We're watching the game and everything, and we're watching what took forever for the game to start because the introduction for every player seemed like it was a minute and a half. And then you go through the reserves, and you go through this, and you go through that. Then Meek Mill gives his mini concert. Then they finally get on the court. Then J. Cole does this thing, all this. And I know you got to have all the pomp and circumstance, but it's just like the Super Bowl. I'm just there to watch the game. I don't need a celebrity halftime show. I don't need a 15-minute interlude. I don't need all this. Just give me football.
But
give me basketball.
Will, you always tell me that I'm not the target demo for all the things that I like. But maybe you're not. Maybe a lot of people do like the pomp and circumstance
but
of the All-Star
But they
game.
were still watching whether they had it or not.
All right.
If you want to watch Super Bowl, they're going to watch the game whether you watch it or not. Male, female, across the board, because it's pretty much 50-50 during the regular season. So it's a bunch of pomp and circumstance for no real reason. But if that's what they want to do, cool, so be it. What's up, Fast Eddie? If that's what you're going to do, is what you're going to do. That's cool. But my whole thing was just too much. I just want to watch the game. And the game was just your basic all-star game. Just a bunch of alley-oops, bunch of dunks, bunch of this, that, and the other. And apparently people didn't like Anthony Hamilton's.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. What was your take on that?
I didn't think about it one way or the other. Everyone does the national anthem their way. Unless you do it poorly, like Roseanne Barr or something like
well,
this.
That's ridiculous.
Robert Goulet,
forgets
the words.
Carl Lewis.
That was horrible.
Yeah, those are horrible.
He should have been charged with something for that.
Unless you do it horribly.
That and throwing out the first pitch at a ball. You remember that when he threw out the ball, Mike?
Yeah.
That was almost as bad as him singing the national anthem.
Yeah, that's horrible. But unless you do it horrible, I didn't really see the problem with it. I thought it was kind of weird, having the guy playing the guitar behind it and all this.
That's your guy, Sam Bora, right?
But no, I want Richie. I like the way Richie did the solo. He did the national anthem with the guitar. But that was dope. Just like when Jimi Hendrix did it. It was dope.
All right, I'll give you that.
I just think, I think people just trying to find a reason to complain about something for some reason. I think they had an underlying.
Well,
that's almost hard to believe.
I can think of two things. One, Marvin Gaye doing Marvin Gaye singing the national anthem at the at the All-Star game at the Forum. That was legendary. But to me, and it's not in the NBA All-Star game, but it's every night the Chicago Blackhawks are at home. Their national anthem singer is the best in the world by far. That's just my opinion. But
I'll take your word for it. I've never seen the national anthem.
Have you heard him once, Will? Being a Navy man, you'd be very happy to hear that version. You'd almost be standing at attention, wanting to break out your uniform again.
No, but I like that. I don't really care who sings it. If you sing it from your heart,
he does,
and you care, that's all I really care about. That little girl, to me, the best national anthem ever will ever be. I don't care who it is. When that little girl was struggling, Maurice Cheeks went out and put his arm around her and sung the national anthem with her.
That was great.
That
cool.
is class.
Yes.
That right there. That's what America's supposed to stand for. That's what it's all about. Being there when somebody's down, you came and supported him. You didn't jump on him. He didn't trash her. He stood right next to her. And to me, no national anthem will ever be as great as that moment right there.
I love Maurice Cheeks anyway, Mike. I know you remember that.
Oh, yeah. That's the kind of guy he is. He's always been a class guy. He was when he was a player. He was as a coach. It's the kind of person he is. You never hear a bad word about him.
Exactly.
I think he got a short hook when he got fired from a head coach. He's still his assistant coach somewhere, but
yes.
I still think he's a good coach. I think he should have been a head coach a little longer. That's just my opinion. Same with our guy, Coach Wilkes, out in Arizona, but that's another story.
He got done wrong.
Absolutely. So I think you said Dr. J, George Gervin, some of my all-time greats were out there. You saw all the legends, man.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Russell.
I mean, but it's an all-star game. That's every all-star game has all those people.
Who was it?
Every year. That's
Jeff Hood was telling us that they were over at one of the hotels here, just like the place to be. It's at one of the hotels and just hanging out in the lobby every day.
Yeah, the Renaissance.
Yeah.
That's the host hotel for the retired NFL, NBA retired
Right.
players.
That's what we need to be next year. Well, no, they're not going to be here next year. But
Now, do you think, given the way the All-Star game has become, the actual game is turned into, that some of the stuff may be as a distraction for the game itself?
I think the 3-point shooting contest was better than the dunk contest.
I don't think so. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
All right.
But I don't think.
I prefer Saturday night but to Sunday.
Yeah, that's the only time people really care about what's going on. But I think all the other stuff just comes with major events. The Super Bowl. When there's a Super Bowl, that like when I was down in Atlanta for that, all the way up to Marietta, Alpharetta, there was
Doraville.
parties, there was stuff going on. That just kind of goes with the territory. You got tons of people in town, tons of celebrities in town, tons of promoters in town. So they just buy out hotels, restaurants, gyms, you name it, and they have parties.
Buying a lot of people buying suits this weekend.
Nobody buying suits; they buying liquor.
By all accounts, the city of Charlotte did a great job.
They're buying
with it.
liquors and condoms, huh?
By all accounts, the city of Charlotte did a great job putting on the event. From what I
they did.
understand.
Chamber of Commerce did a good job marketing that. We even had a lot of the construction was suspended during it, so everybody could get around town. Mike, you're more of an X and O guy to me. Did you think that the Young Stars game, the first and second year, that game was better than in terms of competitiveness from the first quarter through the fourth quarter?
Competitiveness. These games are really. We talked about last week. These games really don't end up being about competition until you get towards the end of the game and it's close and everything. I didn't really see. Nothing screamed competitiveness to me in this game. It's a lot of flash. It's a lot of showmanship. It's a lot of when you're going to be able to bounce a ball in the air and have some 7-foot guys slam it down like Giannis did from Curry.
That was probably one of the better plays of the game.
Yeah.
Who was it?
95 points scored in the first half.
And
that's all you need to know.
And this is why I like the
Who
baseball
was it?
also.
They interviewed a guy right at the half. I forget which player it was. And he says, whoever the interviewer was says, this is almost paraphrasing, but ridiculous. 95 points first half. You guys ever going to play any defense? And the guy's like, yeah, we're just putting on the show for the fans right now. We're going to get around to playing defense because there's a lot of money on the line. Somewhere in the third quarter, but definitely by the fourth quarter.
Now, here's what I hope they do away with. This person, go back to East and West.
I do like that.
This team LeBron, team
I don't like
this.
that.
That's just ridiculous. What do you do 10 years from now when it's team Scottie Pippen Jr. and team Larry Bird III or whatever? East-West.
Well, I didn't have a problem with it because it creates some interesting matchups. It creates some interesting teams. Last year it worked out great.
It lets LeBron recruit.
Last year it worked out great. Everybody loved it. The ratings were great. The competition was great. This year wasn't anything that stood out. But
what about USA versus the world?
I'd rather have that
All
than
right.
this East-West nonsense because I'm watching two guys on the same team seems like playing against each other. I can watch that at a scrimmage. I want to see who's better, East or the West, in their pseudo, almost non-existently competitive game. I at least want to see who's the better of the two. That's why I agree 150% with Freer that he likes the baseball all-star game.
Yep.
Because it matters for something. It counts for something.
You can't screw around with it. I got to throw the ball. You got to hit it, and you got to field it. There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
But, Mike, you remember, even before they made the winner of the All-Star game be the home team in the World Series, that still was a competitive game because you still had the best pitchers playing against the best hitters.
Right, because you can't not
good managers.
You can't have it unless you're going to do every basket catch like Willie Mays. Unless you're going to throw the pitch to the plate with your eyes closed. Unless you're going to swing from the other. There's occasional things. John Kruk stepping in there.
I was about to mention that.
But that's funny. You can't fake it in the baseball. You can't screw around. I have to throw the ball. You have to hit it, and you have to feel it. That's just how it works.
Yeah, I get why the NFL is like it is because you're hitting people, and people can really get hurt very easily. So I understand that. I've never seen a hockey all-star game.
I have.
But if they do the same thing, I can understand that because you really can't get hurt. I think it's stupid to get hurt for exhibition.
I agree.
Basketball and baseball, you should be able to actually play the game.
They play the NHL All-Star game, Mike, to me, like a European game. So, because without less checking and all that. But we're going to get Steve Massey's coming up. Stevie Massey coming up, one of our boxers here. So we got a lot more. We got some boxing to talk about. So we're here at the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill with Mountaineer Mike Freer, William Wilson. I'm Kevin Casey. Stick around for more talking about sports here at the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
I was far at the edge.
Welcome back to the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill. This is Talking About Sports with Mountaineer Mike Freer, William Wilson. I'm Kevin Casey. We're joined by Stevie the Answer Massey from Charlotte. My man, the Answer.
Yes,
How you like it, man? Don't hit any of us, all right?
Nah, I ain't hitting nobody.
You got a lot of knockouts.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All right, what's your record?
8-1.
All right, what's your next fight coming up?
The next fight will be March 16th on Vegas Grand Boxing Promotion.
All right, and we're going to have some Kevin Tolbert is a real good production guy. He'll probably put a graphic up there saying when that is and where that is and give all the particulars. Who's your opponent?
You just put him on the spot there, Kev. Just put him on the spot.
No idea who the opponent is yet, but
Doesn't matter.
It don't matter. I'm going in and do what I always do, and hopefully I get him out first round.
Let me ask you this, because I'm not a huge boxing aficionado like these guys probably are. But when you're gonna take on a fighter, this fighter, how much stuff do you watch on him, that particular fighter himself, to get their tendencies and stuff? Or do you just kind of go, this is what I do best, so this is what I got to do?
No, I'm always watching. When I'm on the treadmill, I pull it up. I'm watching. I'm looking for every flaw that I can find in their game, and once I find it, I'm gonna exploit it. So that's how I'm doing it.
Mike? What were you? I was gonna say, what are some of the guys you used to look up to when you were coming up in the gym?
The guys that I looked up to coming up in the gym is, I would say, like the Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Ali, stuff like that. Those are the guys I looked up to in the gym. So,
what's your weight class?
My weight class, I'm a featherweight.
Featherweight?
Yes, sir.
What weight is that? Because I don't really know all the different.
Featherweight would be pretty much 126 pounds.
Mike, you remember Danny Little Red Lopez?
Sure.
He was a featherweight, and he was a tough dude too, man.
Cover of Sports Illustrated once.
There you go. So there's a guy.
Yes.
If you remember him, he's probably was champion before you were born, Stevie. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
See, so when I graduated high school, I was a featherweight. I weighed 100. When I graduated high school, I grew 4 inches and 90 pounds after I turned 25. I was a late grower. I weighed 129 pounds when I graduated high school.
See, the crazy part about it, I am a featherweight, but I'm also the North Carolina lightweight champion. Lightweight is 135 pounds. So
there you go.
So you'll fight anybody, featherweight or lightweight.
Yeah, I'll go get it if I got to.
So eat him 3 Waffle House meals and go take him on. Got it smothered and covered, then he lay you out on the court, in the ring. I like that.
How'd you get started in boxing?
My dad put me in it at like age 13, and we just took off from there. So
how old are you now?
I'm 25.
25? 12 years. Cool.
Who's
12 years of boxing.
Who's training you right now?
My dad.
All right. Did I meet him earlier?
You'll meet him. He'll be at the gym most of the time. My mom is my manager. You'll see her when I'm going out, stuff like that. You'll see her, and when I go to the gym, you'll see my dad.
All right.
That's how it works.
Where's the gym?
The gym is off Revolution, 1225 Remount Road off West Boulevard.
So local. You training locally. You fight a lot of localies. Where are some of the other places you fought?
I fought in Durham. I fought in Tennessee. I fought in Atlanta as a pro. Those are the places I fought at.
Any what's kind of like a long term, like your opponent to be determined here in next month?
Right.
What about the rest of the year? What are some of the things, and then where do you foresee in the next couple of years where you want to get to?
Next couple of years, I just really want to get my name out there and tell people exactly who Stevie the Answer Massey really is. Even with the nonprofit organization that I support called Cyrus Way, I always give 10% of whatever I make in boxing. I always give it to that organization. So I just want to do something good for my community, and that's it.
That's awesome. Now, before you start any more questions, my mama's tuning in, so I gotta say, hey, mom, love you, mom. And my boy Kevin Porter's tuned in.
Where is he?
You guys watching? I don't know. He's out here somewhere. I don't know. No, but the answer.
Right
Now, the answer. That's AI, man.
I was about to bring that
AI,
up.
So
Kevin Tolbert.
So how do you come in? You got to have some big feet to walk and say, I'm the new answer. What was the question?
That name originated, like, my cousin gave it to me, like, a couple years back, like in 2014 or something like that. My cousin gave it to me. He was like, man, you like the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything pertaining to a boxing, some things outside of boxing, he just started calling me the answer. So, like, it just stuck with me, and I took off with it.
What's your best fighting memory or best knockout?
My best knockout came from. All right, it was like a big beef. It was like right after I took my first loss. When I took my first loss, it was a big beef between me and another local boxer. Well, he was a North Carolina boxer as well. So like me and him, we went back and forth. We had been beefing since like the amateurs, you know. And me and him, we finally fought, and that's when I won the North Carolina lightweight title. So.
All right. Did you watch the Duke North Carolina game last night?
I seen pieces of it. I fell asleep.
Who do you like? Either one of them?
I like Duke.
That's good. I like you already. I like that. Did you watch the All-Star game? Will was there.
I didn't.
You didn't watch All-Star? You were in the gym or something?
Yep, in the gym.
That's dedication, Will. Dude's not even watching
takes
the
a
All-Star.
lot of it,
Well,
man.
he got goals, man. You got goals. You can't achieve your goals from the couch. You can't achieve your goals from the arena. You can't achieve your goal from the club. You achieve your goal if you're a boxer. You achieve your goal in one or two places: the gym or the ring.
There you go.
If you're in NASCAR, as a pit crew guy, I achieve my goals on the track or in the gym. As a businessman, I achieve my goals networking or with my clients. All this other stuff is ancillary. All this all-star game, everybody paying $250 to take a picture with Diddy at the club and all this stuff.
Is that how much it's going for?
Some places going more than that. That's not how you get to the top. That's how you hang out with people at the bottom.
When I was in wrestling, we used to do the $5 Polaroids where they'd come right out, shoot right out.
Yeah.
We did that.
Exactly. But you was the one getting the money for the Polaroids.
Well, that's
not the one
right.
paying for the Polaroid because you was handling business.
That's right. I was doing that. So, get me thrown off, man.
But I'm just saying, this man was handling business. That's how you get.
You know
to
what
the
I
top.
like? Will, he was mentioned he gives money to charity. Will has a charity too.
Okay. What's that?
I have the Williamson Charitable Foundation. We raise money for domestic violence.
Okay.
Scholarship for domestic violence.
Nice. Okay.
You had to come out here, I had to get Lavon to bring you guys out there, for my bowling tournament, my golf tournament.
Okay.
A big party to wrap it up. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk about that close to get on. This is your time to shine. This ain't about me.
All right.
This is your time to shine.
Gotcha.
People got questions. We got the answer.
There you go.
You guys got something.
That's how it works.
That's exactly. Because I don't want him to try to put hands on me because I may not be a featherweight. I'm an old man, but.
Yeah, we already did. I was going to say, man, nobody's going to be messing with us today. We got 3 top boxers in here. Nobody's messing with us today.
Oh, I got my backup. I got Levante back there.
Well, I
We
know.
got the world-class gentleman back there.
Well, I got Stevie Massey right here.
That's right. He may be the answer, but that's the world-class gentleman.
All right, I know, but I mean, we also got DeAndre Robinson Neal.
Plus, he own my suits in his closet. So when you got my suits in your closet, you take precedence.
This man designs and sells.
Yeah,
when you become world champion,
Right.
you come down to you call it the showroom, right?
No. See, you got it backwards.
What is it?
See, this is where people get it wrong.
All right.
There's
Explain
two types of people. The successful people say, this is where I need to go, and you do what it takes to get there. The unsuccessful people wait till they get there and then go, well, when I get there, then I'm going to look the part. You don't get there if you don't look the part. That's like him saying, okay, I'm gonna book this fight, and then I'm going to start training. They ain't gonna book him till he's ready.
Well, I'm meeting my lawyer, Will. So hopefully I will get one of them William Wilson suits, and then I'll be able to hook up.
He didn't go. I'm gonna start working out. See, he working out already. Don't even know who he fighting.
Are you like? Are you a right hand or a southpaw? Or what do you do?
I'm a orthodox right-hand fighter.
All right. You like so? You've knocked guys out with the left and the right, or just mainly your right hook is your main deal?
I've knocked guys out with a left hook, straight right hands, and man, it just takes one shot,
I've seen guys knock dudes out with the body shots.
I've done that.
You say break dudes' ribs and they can't breathe.
Yeah, I done did that.
So basically, he said he can knock you out with anything. Just looking at you, he can take up a body blow.
Just remember, I'm your friend. I mean, we're all of us here are your friends, so don't be getting up, rolling up on any of us.
Oh, I know. Cheryl Massey just said, "Don't slip on my baby boy."
All right.
So
That's
I'm not.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Yeah, it's my mama watched too. So I'm gonna sit here. I know one thing: don't ever challenge a mama, ever. Mama Bear, just whatever Mama Bear says, Mama Bear right. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, when you were growing up, you play any other sports?
I tried football, but my dad just wanted to keep me in boxing, so
Really?
I stayed in it.
Did you like? Did you like playing football? Or is it?
Not really.
No.
I didn't want to do no sports at all. I
Really?
just wanted to sit back and just do whatever.
Then how did you say your father got you into boxing?
Right.
How did he get you in there?
The way he did it, he just took me there. When you're a kid, you got to kind of listen to your parents. So
Right.
I did that. Once I got of age where I could start making my own decisions, he was just like, all right, I'll pay your car insurance and stuff like that. And as long as you go to the gym, stay
Right.
in boxing. So he kept me in it that way. So I'm like, all right. So then I started to like it and love hate and
Nice agreement.
yeah, you got
Well, I mean, you could fight any era, any time, at any size. If you could fight any two boxers, who would it be?
2 boxers. That's a good question.
I have one of those. Every once in a while, I have a good question.
He only asks good questions.
Sheesh. Let me see. The 2 boxers that I would like to fight of any era, I would say Roberto Duran because
Good.
he hits hard. So I hit hard, he hit hard. Let's see who's gonna go down first.
Manos de Piedro.
So Duran. Then I would say Sugar Ray Leonard.
I mean, world champ, big name world champs, Hall of Fames. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of those guys.
And I'll tell you, I played golf with Sugar Ray last year, George Lopez's tournament.
Right.
Sugar Ray looked like he could still go a few rounds. with
Looks like he's in
somebody.
shape.
He is. He's still in great shape. And the hands are still quick.
Yeah, he doing his thing, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys I look up to.
Cool.
You have any injuries? Ever had any bad injuries?
No injuries.
Right, because I mean, Sugar Ray got a Mike, was it Sugar Ray? He had a detached retina
Yeah, he
with
had
that
to
Donnie
retire.
Lalonde fight or whatever.
Yeah, he had to retire. He retired after. That was his return fight, down in Lalonde. I think it was I want to say Kevin Smith or somebody who wasn't that big a deal, and put him down. And he got up and won the fight, and then they had the big event where he retired in D.C. in front of the whole thing there, Howard Cosell and everybody, and it was a real mess because the story was Marvin Hagler was there, and he thought they were going to be there to introduce
I think he
Marvin
Marvin
Hagler
Hagler
fight,
got robbed.
or Hagler Leonard fight, and instead Leonard retired.
I think he got robbed. But Steve, we want to thank you for being here. We're getting ready to go to a break, but thanks and good luck for your next fight.
All right, thank you,
keep,
man.
Keep it right here on ADSN. We'll keep you up to date on Steve the Answer Massey. We've got more talking about sports coming up right now on here from the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill.
Good stuff, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
I'm just saying. All right, welcome back to Talking About Sports. We're here at the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill with Mountaineer Mike Freer, William Wilson, and now joining us, DeAndre Robinson-Neal, 20-0 from Columbia, South Carolina. I think we met your dad. Is he here? Your dad's the Ranger? Yeah, we met here? All right, we met him. Good. Thank you for his service, by the way.
Let me just say.
Uh-oh.
Let me just say.
Uh-oh.
In the words of Stephen A. Smith,
Oh boy.
let me just say. Look at my man. My man is clean. My man casket sharp.
Real
Look
dapper.
at-
Real,
look at-
real, real
Why you say
dapper. Real dapper.
casket sharp?
My man right here.
All right.
He can knock you out and then represent you in court.
Or go to your funeral,
You know what
apparently.
I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about right here. He could officiate your wedding. He could put you to bed.
No, don't bring
then
that up.
put
Well,
you to-
I'm
then
going.
put you to bed.
I'm meeting my divorce attorney
man.
today. Don't bring that up.
I appreciate that. My
That's
man.
high praise considering the source. Now.
Bro,
Yeah, that's
I
high
know people
praise.
show up for air.
Well, I'm glad you're
suit.
propping him instead of taking a shot at his dad, the Ranger, now, because you did have a little shot there.
No, he
It
had
was-
shot first.
Oh, what'd he say?
No, he just said, because he said, oh, I'm sorry. He said, sorry about that.
Oh, 'cause
and I
you're
said,
a Navy
well, you know,
guy.
somebody had to do something with the people who could read. That's all.
Okay. All right.
You know.
All right. DeAndre, 20-0. When's your next fight?
On March 16th.
All right. Well, another one of these great bouts here at Vegas Grand Boxing Promotions coming up next month in March. Keep it here on ADSN for the latest on that. 20-0. You didn't get there by accident. You knock a lot of guys out. The Matrix, by the way.
It was a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication put into it, but it was real fun at the same time. So I can't complain nothing.
Now, the Matrix. How'd you get your nickname, the Matrix?
I don't like to get hit.
So you like Neo.
I'm trying to stay out the way of punches. So
You don't like to get hit. They should have called you prime time. But Deion Sanders didn't like to get hit either.
He looked good doing it though.
Yeah, he did.
So with me, I like to go in there and fight the same way I came out. Can't where I come out, I want to be in. So I just want a pretty face.
He pretty boy. He pretty.
Not as much of a pretty boy. Just anybody want to walk around with lumps on their face and cuts. I ain't got time for that.
I hear you.
So DeAndre, this fight coming up next month with Vegas Grand Boxing Promotions is for the IBO Championship. This is a belt. Belts are a big deal.
Yeah.
And you're obviously fighting for a belt and a title. It's gonna be. You're stepping up in competition.
Well, everybody works to get a belt. That's the main thing in boxing. Everybody wants all the belts they can get. So with the level of stepping up in the competition, I'm not worried about it. I mean, it's another day in the gym, but it's a belt. So I'm just excited to get a new belt. Then after that, just add to the collection.
Now, who you fighting?
If I told you, I'd be lying.
Okay, then don't lie. Don't.
If I told you,
don't lie
I would
on
be lying.
tape.
It doesn't matter.
You want to run my office later. They'll come back and get you in 15 years.
Well, your buddy Stevie said it doesn't matter who he fights. It's just they're just next.
It doesn't matter. Once you get in that how they call it, a square circle. Once you get in a square circle, it just me and you regardless. So it doesn't matter to me.
Now, how do you prefer? Like, what's your go-to punch? Like that punch that if you could use every time, you would.
Left hook.
Left hook.
Left hook.
You southpaw?
Orthodox. Orthodox.
Right hand. That's right hand.
Oh, okay.
That means right hand.
I'm like, you Jewish? I'm like, you never know, man. I mean, like, I'm an
Sammy
Orthodox
Davis-
Jew. I'm like,
Sammy
did
Davis
Jews hit
was-
different or something? I didn't know.
Sammy Davis was-
Okay, I learned new terminology.
All right.
Orthodox. Okay,
All right.
I didn't know. So that's a long way of saying right-handed.
Yeah,
So either southpaw or orthodox.
That's a boxing term.
'Cause I heard southpaw before.
All right. Well, that's because that's boxing.
But yeah, southpaw I heard of, but orthodox I hadn't heard of before. Yeah. All right, cool. I learned something. I ain't learned nothing all day. Now I learned something.
Talk about your motivation from when you first started boxing. You start getting the professional rank. Talk about where it was then and where it is now. Your focus, your motivation. When you first get started, everybody dreams of being the champ. But talk about where it was then and how it is right now.
With me, it was a little bit different because I started when I was 8. Like a lot of fighters, they start when they're young. And I just started because I was fat.
Right.
I was a short little fat boy, and I wanted to lose weight. So it went from
Fighting
there.
for that
Then
belt.
I couldn't stand boxing. Getting in the ring, getting hit, I couldn't stand it a little bit. So as I got older, I started getting better. So I think when I turned about 12 to 13, I started realizing I'm getting better and getting better. So I turned pro at 17. And most of the states, the legal law is 18. So I had to fight. I could only fight with 2 or 3 states. I was in Louisiana, Arkansas, and I can't remember the third.
My home state.
What?
So my first fight was in Arkansas.
His first fight was in Arkansas as a pro.
Everybody's got a fight in Arkansas, from what I hear.
Professionals, Arkansas produces champions. That's
Like
what
who?
they do. Scottie Pippen.
Well, I'm to boxing, man.
Do you remember?
Okay, what's the kid name? Jermaine. What's his name?
Jermaine Taylor?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's,
Yeah.
There you go. He's trying to talk trash. He got caught slipping. I caught him with that left hook. Like
It was
my
quick
man.
too. It was quick
I
too.
caught that quick left hook. You didn't see it coming, did you?
I think Arkansas. I think of Malik Monk and squirrel hunting. That's what I think.
That's
of.
why you get paid to talk and not think.
Well, there
that's
you
why they
go.
write out your notes there for you. That's why you don't want to hear with notes in front of you.
Well, that's good. So you're, but they're right here next to you, so you could read them.
That's right. My back turned. I'm paying attention to the man
Now
talking.
you're with the. Your dad fought. So your dad encouraged you, and you saw him. He had a gym, and you trained down at your dad's gym. So that's got to be a big deal, knowing that your dad's in your corner and you train with him, and he's in your corner every one of your fights.
That's a huge deal because a lot of people is not able to sustain the father-son coaching. They look at Floyd fired his father, Roy fired his father, so it don't really sit with a lot of people. But me and him work out perfect. So I couldn't see nobody else in my corner.
Man, are you a fighter or are you a student of the game? Because listening to you, sounds like you kind of know some of the history too. So are you a student of the game? Or just more?
I've been around it so long. Like I've been around a bunch of world champions and the older legends. So it just before you do anything, you want to learn what you get yourself into. So I always learn and adapt. So I add on each time I learn something different. So you can always keep learning.
I got you. Now I ask you the same thing I asked the answer earlier. If you could fight any two boxers, any weight class from any era, from any time,
I'm hoping to hear one name.
who would they be?
Any era, any time. Well, I definitely want to make sure I win these fights. So I'm not gonna pick
Who?
I want to win these fights, so I'm not
Right.
gonna pick a dumb fight. So, I had to pick my favorite fighter first. That's Roy Jones.
Roy Jones. We
And,
follow him on ADSN. How would you like to go back in time?
Well, we don't. I said any time, any era.
No, but I'm gonna say, how'd you like to fight your dad in his prime?
No.
Oh,
We hear the bet. We hear.
trying to start something.
I'm not trying to start anything.
See, now I would do that now.
See, not Kevin trying to start some.
Robinson Neal Boxing Academy in Columbia, South Carolina.
This man just said him and his dad got a great
Oh,
relationship.
I'm just saying in his
You trying
prime,
to-
like they don't know each other.
You trying to get them on air
no,
saying he would
no,
knock your daddy
no.
out.
Well, you might.
That's how it starts.
It might, though.
He gonna say this, then daddy gonna be like, okay, we got to prove this. Now a year from now, when they ain't getting along, it's gonna all be on from Kevin the Truth that caused a rift in this
Nah,
man's
man.
household.
I was hoping you were going to say Bernard Hopkins. When I think super middleweight, I think Bernard Hopkins. And Mike, he hadn't. It's not been that long since he was fighting, and he was the
Yeah,
champion
but-
not too long ago.
But at the same time, when it comes to super middleweights, I felt like Roy ran that weight class. So that's why I picked Roy first. Because, yeah, look at it prime-wise, Roy beat B-Hop. So
That man know history. I like this.
Oh.
So that probably had to be Roy, and if I had to pick around that weight class, I had to say Andre Ward. Then I couldn't see myself beating on my daddy. That just hurts.
Now let me ask you this: you're training right now.
Yeah.
What's your diet? I'm trying to slim it up a little bit more. What is your diet?
It varies how far we are in the camp. So like now, we get like on a green diet right now, just really veggies and salads and things like that. Just to finish cutting in a lot of water. A lot of water. I'm tired of water.
So to cut water, you just drink a lot of water?
Yeah, the more water you drink, the more you push out. So
Now, do you know how many calories you go through a day for your, when you're training and everything? 'Cause
Coach,
Yes.
how many calories we go through?
Oh, he burn a lot, but we try to, since he's trying to cut it, so we only do about like 1,600, 1,700.
Well, you need to stay away from that good
there you
barbecue
go.
down in Columbia, South Carolina. I know about that now. Believe me, I've been down there. That good mustard-based barbecue, man. You need to stay away from that.
Yeah, I have to.
All right.
So what's
I
your
will
what's
never
your
lose
workout like? So take us through a typical, like not the boxing part, just the non-boxing part of the workout. And what do you do? Run? And
Run,
that
of
kind
course.
Jump rope.
Run,
how early you get up?
Jump. How early?
Yeah, for in training, you get,
Yeah,
like
take
he
us through your
said.
day.
It depends, cause I sleep all day if I feel like it. But I probably get up about 9:30, then about get my day started. The main
Make sure you talk
practice. The main practice is probably about 11 o'clock. So we'll run a couple miles, sprints, jump rope. Like I got strength conditioning trainer too, Carlos Powell. And so I start the day off with him, then I end the day off with my father.
I got you.
And it's something different every day. So
You ever drink? You ever see Rocky? You ever watch that movie Rocky?
yeah,
You ever drink raw eggs like Rocky did? Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
What?
no, I tried it
That
once.
looks nasty to me.
I tried it once when I was young. That was the worst thing I ever tried in my life.
That just looks nasty.
You never
man.
had boiled okra then, apparently.
It just looks nasty.
Boiled okra.
Boiled okra is disgusting.
That
Any
is bad.
okra
That is bad.
disgusting.
I like fried
Boiled
okra.
That's what
is
y'all doing in Arkansas?
But they do-
Dude, fried
apparently do a lot
okra's
of
good,
places.
man. You ain't had no fried
I don't
okra?
Like, I don't like okra any kind of way.
Man, dude, you ain't had no fried
I'm
okra.
cool with okra, but not okra. Nah, dude.
That's not on the Oprah diet either. The fried okra is good though. You need to.
There's no okra.
I bet your mom makes some.
My mom probably eat it. I'm just not gonna eat it.
All right, well, you know.
You feed me okra, you will see it again.
I don't eat it.
Almost
either.
instantaneously.
I can't eat it either.
All right, DeAndre the Matrix Robinson, 20-0-1, fighting next month at the Vegas Grand Boxing Promotions. We'll have more information right here on ADSN. Thanks a lot, DeAndre, for being here. We're
Thanks
coming
for
back with
having
more
me.
talking about sports right after this.
My man.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
Make it any shorter for me?
Welcome back to Talking About Sports. We're here at the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill with Mountaineer Mike Freer, William Wilson, and the one and only Charlotte's own world-class gentleman.
Yes, sir.
Monte Early, and a client of William Wilson Clothing.
Oh yeah, you know.
Looking good as always.
I couldn't break it out today, man. I had to go light on them today. I couldn't break it out today.
That's all right though. You still got the cashmere on, got the sweater.
Yeah, you know.
Smelling all smooth.
I do smell it.
No, you
got,
know
got
it.
the hair thing happening.
Yeah, you know it.
World class.
7-0.
Yes, sir.
Super lightweight and junior middleweight, depending on where the money is. Well, I've called a lot of your fights. I may have not all of them, but if you're 7-0, I've probably done 5 of your fights.
Oh,
And
definitely.
I've seen some really exciting fights that you've had, and you've come through with some knockouts.
Oh, yeah.
Late. And some guys have given you a lot, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
always rose above.
I appreciate that,
What's
man.
next? I know, with the Vegas Grand Boxing Promotions next month. Who's your opponent?
Right now we're looking at some opponents, man, and we have some people on the docket for approval by the commission. But right now we don't necessarily have anybody signed up ready to go. But we got some people definitely waiting to get approved, man. And you know how that goes, man. You guys know the business side of this thing and how tricky it gets. But we're navigating it, man. This is nothing. This is nothing we haven't done before. So
Now,
we're moving.
I talked to you one. I know you've been out in You've been out in Vegas, and you've been at the
Yes,
Floyd
sir.
Mayweather's gym, and you've boxed out there, and you've met Floyd and some important people. Let's just put it this way: have seen you, talked to you. And what was that experience like?
Oh man, that was definitely an experience, man. It was an experience. Vegas is a lot different. I think the biggest difference and the biggest part of the experience is the fact that you get to feel the environment and you get to feel everything that's going around here. Within Vegas Grand, within our small boxing community, our small and strong boxing community that's in Charlotte, we get to feel that within our own environment. But a lot of times the town or the city itself doesn't feel like that type of environment. You go to Vegas, you can feel that it's a part of the energy. Boxing is a part.
Town.
Exactly. It's literally a part of. It's a part of the city.
It's a fight town. I used to work in Vegas, and I was a boxing reporter, and I've been around at Top Rank Boxing. I've been at the gyms. I've been to the dojos. I've covered fights at MGM Grand, at Caesar's Palace.
Oh, man.
I've seen a lot of that, and Charlotte has its good history with boxing. You got boxing Hall of Famer like Humpy Wheeler, who's well known in boxing circles.
I love Humpy, man.
You
Good
got
friend of mine.
world champion Kelvin Seabrooks from right here in Charlotte. Great guy. He was a good friend of us at ADSN. Calvin Brock.
Oh yeah,
the boxing banker.
That's the man. That's the man.
Oh, I just mentioned it.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just a great stuff. I mean, and you're going to be a part of this legacy. You're carrying it on now.
Oh man, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. We actually made some flyers recently. We had some promotional stuff recently, and the whole band behind it, the whole kind of driving hashtag behind it was making history. You know what I mean? And that's a big part of what I do, man, and that's what it's for. I want to do this to be able to create a legacy and make history here in Charlotte. For somebody that came from exactly what I came from, and just to show people that you can put your mind to something and get it achieved and accomplish it. That's important to me.
I want to ask you this because you went out and you met with Floyd Mayweather and his group. Your family is promoting.
Yeah.
So you're learning the business side.
Oh, yeah.
You were a boxer and you fought.
Oh, yeah.
But you're also learning the business side of promoting Floyd Mayweather is a guy who came up as a fighter, saved his money, and now he's a promoter. And there's a way to beyond just fighting to being a businessman like William Wilson. So what are you going to take from promoting and fighting and moving as you move up and hopefully get a world title?
Oh, definitely, man. What I would say to that is, I mean, I feel like that, both sides, the athleticism side of it and the business side of it are equally important. That's why we call it the boxing business. You know what I mean? It's not just a sport on its own. It is a business. And at the end of the day, you're in this, you're an entertainer. Excuse me. So me taking out of the promotion, what I take out of the promotion is just learning and soaking. I'm just being a sponge, man. I'm being a sponge. I'm really just soaking up everything, all the tribulations, all the trials that, that the promoters go through, that the managers go through, and, experiencing firsthand what the fighters go through as well. So doing all that and really taking that home and reflecting on it, it really gives me a huge advantage because I've been on both sides of the negotiation table. And that part of it is important. If you can understand what both sides want and you can understand intentions, right, then you can understand the business side of boxing. So it really has given me an advantage in pretty much every aspect of this.
Now let me ask you this, because obviously we know each other for some years now. And one thing that I love about how you handle your stuff, you understand how to handle the fans.
Right.
You understand the fans. You understand the bread and butter of it. Because once you get all the contracts signed, and you only spend so much time in the ring.
Exactly.
When we get out of that ring, I sat and watched you pick little kids out the crowd. Stay there, even though people trying to pull you to the side, pull you here and there. I saw you sat and make sure you were there so every fan that wanted a picture got a picture, or wanted an autograph. Those are the things I think has been lost so much because people get caught up in the superstar of it.
Exactly.
When you get introduced, the whole place erupts with it.
Right.
So it'll be very easy if you get sucked up into that ego and attitude of it. But I've seen you stay level-headed all the way through from day one till today. What do you attribute that part to? That part of it?
Whew. That's my upbringing, man. That's my upbringing. That's the whole reason I have the name the World Class Gentleman. Is the way I was brought up, the way that I was raised, and the things that you have to value. And what I realize is that my career isn't for me. At the end of the day, all the work I put in, all the things that I do, all the things that I go through, all the things that I endure, it isn't for me. It's for the person that's next. It's for the person that can look at me and say, hey, that's something that I can achieve, or I never know, and this is why I always take so much time, is because I never know what little kids' lives I changed by talking to them in that moment. I don't never know what person's life I changed by signing an autograph or acknowledging them or saying, hey, man, you could do this too. You never know whose life you can change with those words, because my life was changed with similar words by people around me that love me.
Yeah, I call it the burden of the brand. And most people don't understand this because there's business owners and there are people who have a brand.
Right.
And most people don't understand there's a difference. Now, when I call it a burden of the brand, there are days that I know. There are days I don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
I don't want to smile. Right. I don't want to hear about your idea. I don't want to hear about your kid who you think can model. I don't want to hear anything.
You tell me that every day.
I'm just, and it's not that I'm upset. I'm just tired that day.
Right.
When people show up, they want to take a picture. You got to take that picture.
You got to do it.
You got to be nice. You got to put that smile on. You got to. Your head feels like Kevin Casey and all his buddies are having a wrestling match
exactly.
And all you want to do is just lay down and throw up. But right. you got to smile, you got to sit, and you got to talk. And people don't understand that's the part, because people if you're nice to someone, they may or may not say something about you later. They may become a fan, they may not.
Right.
But if you don't take that time, that 10 seconds you don't take.
Oh, you can guarantee it.
Well, guarantee they're going to tell everybody they know for the rest of your life. You become the best boxer in history. They're going to say, yeah, Vontae, he act like he all that.
Exactly.
And back in 2019, it's like 2038 now. In 2019, he wouldn't take 2 seconds to take a picture with my child.
You can't put a price on a reputation.
Oh, you can't do it.
It only takes a minute.
It only takes a
second.
second.
Destroyed in 10 seconds.
It only takes a second. Let me ask you, you're from Charlotte, correct?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about what it means to be in your sport, to represent Charlotte as a boxer.
Man, that's a lot. I feel like Charlotte is, it's just on the uprise, man. Charlotte is one of those things where I feel like my career right now is representing what Charlotte is all about, and it's representing the Charlotte trend. And what I mean by that is not to say a fad or anything like that. Trend as in, you know, the way that it's trending, the way that it's going. And Charlotte is a up and coming city. You know, we just recently had All-Star Weekend here. We got CIAA coming back. I mean, these are huge events that want to come to our city. You know, they want to come to our city because they understand that this is a place that they can be taken care of. This is a place where people are willing to come and show up and, you know, be a part of what we have here. So I feel like that my career is going in the same direction. You know, it's trending up in the same way. So I feel like that it's just perfect timing.
You take the responsibility of Charlotte when you're in a situation like this, and when you're
always
at a fight, when you're promoting, you have
always
you're part of Charlotte.
I'm Charlotte raised, man. I'm Charlotte raised, Charlotte bred. So anything, you know, anything that comes of my career all came from where I came from. You know what I mean? You're a product of your environment. You're a product of the people around you. And I've been in Charlotte all my life, and that's what raised me. That's what brought me through this. So when I get to the top where I'm going, man, that's going to be the same exact foundation that I stand on.
I like that. He said, when I get to the top.
How would you like that? How about you headlining a world title fight, WBA, WBC, at the Spectrum Center?
IBO
You're on top.
too.
Main
IBO.
event.
That's my guy too. I know there's some guys at IBO that, you know,
well,
do that too.
IBO, we got belts here. You've been around because we've had WBO here in town. We've had that. Now we got the IBO coming in for Vegas Grand Boxing. So there's world titles down the line. All you need to do is keep winning.
That's what we got to do, baby. That's the plan.
What'd you think of the All-Star Game? So you saw all the.
Man, you know my favorite thing about the All-Star Game was J. Cole. My favorite thing about that, I love J. Cole. I'm a huge J. Cole fan.
You gotta translate that.
The halftime show.
You need to translate.
You know who J. Cole is?
He's rapping it performed at the halftime show.
You don't know who J. Cole is?
Well, dude, I
gotta educate you, brother.
Well, I'm just saying, you need to have me at your fight.
Definitely.
Kevin knows where every athlete from North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina went to high school, where they went to
wow.
first
I did hear. Now,
all I heard who J. Cole.
I did hear that. I did hear that LeBron told the coach of his team, said, "Look, coach, we're going out to watch." What's his name?
J. Cole.
We're going to go watch him. And he said, dude, you got to win. He said, oh, we're going to win, coach. No problem. And he went out and they all watched him.
My guy Kevin Porter said he loved it. Said you can change someone negative if you don't take it. We're talking about taking the time to take those pictures and all that kind of stuff. Now I would imagine that it's probably pretty easy for you to carry Charlotte on your back. Because I know what you carry more so. You carry your mom with you.
Oh, Jesus.
So if you take care, you show the respect of mom that I know you like. And I don't mean to be bad, but black mamas just. You
know about
black mama still smack you in public.
So, I'm telling you, pinch you
even when you grown.
All right, wow.
Grown. So when I watch you, how you handle your stuff, how your mom handles business, and the respect that you show your mom everywhere you go, showing respect to Charlotte probably just falls under that.
Second nature. It's second nature.
All right, now we're wrapping up the show here. Stay here, Levante. Final thoughts down the line, Mountaineer Mike.
We got food yet?
It's coming, from what I hear.
Final thoughts was last night's game. Duke, going back to North Carolina. There's going to be a lot of talk. I mentioned it at the top of the show. Duke has been the favorite for a long time to win the championship. But we saw last night when Zion goes out.
Oh man!
When one of their key cogs goes out in this one and done group, this fabulous freshman, it could be trouble for them. They're not the lock. Even when everybody's healthy, that everybody thinks they are.
Will, you want to give some? We'll let Levante go. He'll go after you. I want to see what we're doing here.
Final thoughts about the All-Star?
Anything in sports or anything about life.
It can be about anything in
life, sports. Whatever.
Well, I will say this: I saw the Carolina jerseys. Man, I got to give me one of those jerseys. I love the jerseys. I love the colors. I love the schemes. Everything, man. It looks great. That's what I got to say about the Carolina game.
Well, didn't Alexander Julian? Didn't he have something to do with it?
Yeah. Last thing about the fight, March 16th, man. I'm ready. I'm preparing. You know, I'm really hitting that mindset shift that is necessary for me to be able to go out there and perform. So I'm super excited about this fight. And the last thing that I can say is just get your tickets, people. Get your tickets ASAP. They're going fast. People have hit me up left and right to get them these tickets. So make sure you get your tickets for that. I'm happy to put Charlotte on the map.
All right. Well, I got two. One, I've only been to a couple of boxing matches in my life, and he's been there for most of them. And I watch him knock out people.
I looked out for
every
you.
time. So You look at me for who?
I'm just looking out for you. You know that. I'm just saying. I always.
I ain't look out for when his mama know me.
I'm just saying.
She gonna make sure I'm at the fight whether you there or not.
No, but I'm just.
You on the inside plug. You got the inside
I want a
plug.
whole different. Jaquita Kofor just.
Oh, I love Jaquita. You know I love her.
See how he lit up?
She don't love me, but I love her though, man.
Light up like an LED bulb.
Oh man, that's what.
Ooh, turn off this bright light.
Oh
lit
man,
up too much.
you need to come out here to Jaquita one day,
He love him
please.
some Jaquita.
Yeah, I know.
But like I said, I'm telling you, if you get a chance to come out one of these when Vegas Grand is promoting, come out. It's a good time. The fights are excellent, and cats be putting dudes to sleep. Like I watched the dude the last fight, and well, actually fight before last. I missed the last one. I was in town, but dude knocked him out.
Oh yeah.
His head hit the turnbuckle. We was all worried he wasn't gonna get up.
Well, that happens.
I mean, he was asleep before he hit the ground, and his head. I was so glad. And the thing is, you see the respect.
Right.
So I saw this one kid. It was his first professional fight, and he knocked he got knocked out, smooth, cold. And then I don't remember their names, but the light-skinned dude had the dreads. It was his first time fight, but he knocked this dude out. Then you saw them later on. They were like brothers. This dude, this fight, it was the first time ever being in a ring, ever in his life being in a ring. And he got knocked smooth out. It looked like his first time. But when you saw them afterwards, like the dude, his mom was there, and the brother, it was just a great time, just that brotherhood after it. It wasn't like they were talking trash to each other. It was like they was brothers. So you guys get a chance to go out and see good, classy fights. It's well put together, very competitive, and sometimes they go to the end. So go and check that out. But other thing is, and Kev, you can appreciate this. It's officially NASCAR.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I love
man.
it. Denny Hamlin.
Oh man.
No, Kevin Cole hates
I know, but hey,
we only in NASCAR country. All the teams are based in Charlotte, but we don't want to talk about that. But I'm telling you, bro, the new rules package,
that comes out this weekend.
550 horsepower instead of 750.
Ooh.
I think that's going to help a lot of these teams out because some of these teams, the front row motorsports, these other teams aren't.
Levine Family Racing.
Yeah, they can't really produce that kind of horsepower.
Oh.
Now reeling it back to where they all at 550. I think now they're going to be competitive. I think we're going to see much better racing than we've seen in a long time, and it puts the hands back in the hands of the real cats.
All right, world class.
Crews.
Hey, here's the best part, Levante. Here's the best part. World class gentlemen. We got world class food here from the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill. William Wilson wings. We looks like we got some of those chips that you like, Will. We got the pretzel, the Bucky Badger beer cheese with James King's favorite deal here. So we like that, and I definitely want to see. I like the fact that Denny Hamlin won the race for Joe Gibbs Racing, and first thing Denny Hamlin did is he pointed to the sticker on his car for J.D. Gibbs, which was a very popular win in the garage.
Absolutely.
For Joe Gibbs and for J.D. Gibbs, who discovered Denny Hamlin. And Denny Hamlin from my hometown of Richmond, Virginia, so definitely props to Denny Hamlin. And
J.D. Gibbs was an amazing individual. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, just a great person.
Oh no,
you might be in training, dude, but you're gonna have to break down a little bit.
Yeah,
and,
I'm on
I got
a strict diet right now.
Strict diet. I'm just gonna say, make sure you come in to see The Answer, Stevie Massey, The Matrix. DeAndre Robinson Neal, his dad's right over here, who's a top guy. Even though he's a Ranger, so you know he's tough. So
he served. That's all that matters to me.
That's all that matters to me. And props out to my man Eric Ashman from the Olsinski Law Firm. I'm going to be seeing you soon. Hopefully you got some good news for me. And big props go out to Dr. Philip Sobo of my dentist this week, who definitely took care of me this week in an hour of need.
Get that root canal.
Dude, tell me about it. I'm not manning up. I ain't Navy strong like you.
Yeah,
tweeting during the damn root canal.
I tweeted through my whole root canal. I was tweeting, taking pictures.
I ain't doing all that. I told Dr. Sobo, I said, Doc, numb me up and give me the heavy gas, man. I want the juice. Give me plenty of it.
Biggest dude here.
I'm 295 pounds. I said, one shot ain't going to do it for me. I need all the stuff. I got insurance, man. Give me all the shit you got.
You got your words
That's
in
all
already.
I'm saying, man.
You won't get a word
all right.
edgewise.
Is that how they do the whole show, basically? That's them the whole show.
For Stephen Massey, DeAndre Robinson Neal, the world-class gentleman, Levante Early, Kevin Tolbert,
sir.
Mountaineer Mike Freer, William Wilson, I'm Kevin Casey. This has been Talking About Sports. So long for now.
I can feel beyond the set and nowhere near the action.